Hello, witches. I am High Priestess Austin Phoenix. Thank you for taking time out of your afternoon to join me on this live broadcast on how do you know that Hecate is trying to get your attention. When I first started working with Hecate, I started to notice my obsession, I guess you would call it, with the full moon. I realized very early on that I was psychic, that I knew the future, that I was so happy all the time to see a dog. We know that dogs represent Hecate, even though sometimes dogs can be associated with Diana. Dogs can also be associated with Hecate. The reason that I knew that Hecate was trying to get my attention was that I always found keys. Keys represents Hecate. If you don't know any other representation of Hecate, know that keys represents her to a T. Keys. I'm talking about finding keys and the street, finding keys in your shoe, finding keys in places that there should not be a key. I'm talking about finding keys in your dreams, in your visions, being able to draw a key and not being able to draw anything else. Like, you can't draw anything else but a key perfectly, and you are not even an artist. You're not Da Vinci. You will never have your art in a museum, but yet you can draw a key. Keys represent Hecate. Another way you know that Hecate is trying to get your attention is that you are up late at 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. is known as the witching hour. It's the witching hour because that's when it's easier for witches to do witchcraft without being disturbed. And that's the time of heightened spiritual activity. Hecate is a goddess, so it's easier to communicate with her because you don't have the outside environment interrupting that conversation between you two. The conversation that you have with Hecate will be one that is life-changing. She will give you direction. She will give you downloaded information so that you can have, for some of you witches who may never have had real significant and permanently positive change before, she will give you a formula to obtain that through witchcraft by adding her strength to your own. So you no longer have to go through life the hard way, because no witch should be going through life the hard way. Another way that Hecate is trying to get your attention is that you have heightened psychic awareness, or you may have just started to finally rely on your intuition, or like myself, you were born psychic, you were born prophetic. You don't know how you know things. You don't know how you know the future. You don't know how you know what's going to happen 2 weeks from now, 3 months from now, a year from now. But you just know. You just naturally turn on spiritually when it comes to you being intuitive. You just know things. You don't know how you know it because you are a devotee. You are meant to be a devotee of Hecate. Now listen, you don't have to do anything that she says. Just because Hecate is trying to get your attention because she knows that you would make a good devotee of hers does not mean you have to accept it. You are not required, remember witches, as witches, you are never required to do anything, ever. You can, because every witch has got to make a choice. You can completely ignore Hecate's call. You can completely ignore her trying to get your attention and decide to become a devotee of a different god or goddess. And guess what? Hecate will not hold it against you. She is not a jealous goddess. She is not a jealous goddess. She's not going to hold it against you just because you decide to be a devotee of Aphrodite or Lilith or any other god or goddess, or maybe no god or goddess. Hecate is not going to hold it against you. She's not going to punish you. She's not going to berate you. She's not going to condemn you. You are fine. But for those witches who are realizing that Hecate is trying to get their attention, when you do listen to her and her alone and black out your own thoughts and listen to her voice, if you have ears to hear her voice, you will see your life drastically change. Sometimes even overnight, drastically change, because you listen to her voice. And as a devotee of Hecate, you know her voice is sure. You know her voice is true. You know she's trying to help you. You know that she is going to cover you. You know that she is going to protect you. You know that she's going to meet you at the crossroads. I'm not talking about the song like Julio. No. I'm talking about real life crossroads. Everybody, witches and non-witches, always have a crossroads moment. But in the manner of witches, when a witch comes to a crossroads in their life, Hecate, if they're meant to be a devotee of hers, will meet that witch in the middle. And she will put a light at that witch's feet to show him or her which direction to go. That's another way that Hecate tries to get your attention. You always find yourself at a crossroads. Always. Always. It doesn't matter if you know where you're going or if you're lost. Yeah, if you always find yourself at a crossroads, how did I get here? That's a sign that Hecate is trying to get your attention. Because you are always at a physical crossroads. I'm not just talking about a crossroads and you having to make a decision on to go left or to go right. I'm talking about a spiritual crossroads in which you want to better your life through witchcraft by being a devotee of Hecate. Hecate will always meet you at the middle of that crossroads. And you just have to follow her. You just have to follow her. Don't lean on your own understanding. Don't believe that you know all the time what's best. If you knew what was best, you would be Hecate and Hecate would be you. That's a word right there for somebody I feel in my spirit. She will meet you at that crossroads. She will always put a light at your feet. She will always put a torch in front of you. And wherever that torch is shining the brightest, that's where you need to go. You know, people call that having a light bulb moment. For witches, it's Hecate lighting the torch the brightest in the direction you need to go. When you think about Hecate, you think about crossroads, you think about keys, you think about torches. Constantly seeing those things. Constantly having visions about those three things. That's a clear indication that Hecate is interested in having you as a devotee of hers. If you want to be. If you want to be. Because every witch has got to make a choice. Hecate is also known as the Great Mother. Hecate is the mother to the motherless witches. Maybe you did not have a mother growing up. Maybe your mother was a piece of shit. Can I keep it real with you? Maybe your mother was not that great. Maybe your mother was abusive. Maybe your mother was also spiritual if you were born a witch like yourself, but she did not capitalize on her gifts. She didn't work her gifts and watch her gifts work for her. and she took that out on you. So yes, Hecate is also known as the Great Mother. And I find it so ironic that in Hocus Pocus 2, in the movie Hocus Pocus 2, it references the Great Mother. That's also a title of Hecate, the Great Mother. If you watch Hocus Pocus 2, I'm not going off topic. If you watch Hocus Pocus 2, when the Sanderson sisters are still little girls and they meet the Great Mother, that's Hecate, because Hecate is also known as the Great Mother. How did nobody else, it wasn't just me that noticed it, how did Sophie Witches not pick up on that? Disney is talking about Hecate, but not actually saying her name. Just say her name, Hecate. That's the Great Mother in the movie Hocus Pocus 2. Hecate is a mother to the motherless. Even if your mother is still alive and she happens to be a piece of shit, Hecate is your mother when you become a devotee of hers. It is the Great Mother, known as Hecate, known as the Queen of Witches, known as the bearer of torches, known as the witch that meets you in the middle of a crossroads in your life. That's her. That's her. When you have a mother who is not great, or you have a mother who is jealous of you or hates your guts, Hecate takes the place of that, what I would call a birther, I guess. Somebody who just gave birth to you, but was not an actual mom, and they definitely was not a mommy. So yes, Hecate is the mother to the motherless. So when you start to work with Hecate, you may come to see her as a mother, because she's always there for you, for men and women, for men and women. When you become a devotee of Hecate, you may start to see her as a mother figure, getting you out of problems that you may have put yourself in. Yes, Hecate will pull you out of a hole that you have dug for yourself. The only thing you need to do is stop digging in that hole so she can reach out and pull you out. If you keep digging that hole, the more Hecate has to extend, the more she has to extend her arm down to pull you out. And you, as a witch, you never want to take 10 steps back. As a witch, you never want to take 10 steps back. Never. That will totally throw you off. But yeah, Hecate will get you out of shit that you have put yourself in. Ask the devotees of Hecate how many times they have been in trouble because of their own doing, because of their own fault, and Hecate has gotten them out of trouble. I mean trouble in which they should be serving time in federal prison. Pulling that devotee of Hecate out, Hecate coming to the rescue of a witch that should be serving long prison sentences, because Hecate always protects her own. Hecate always protects her own. So you might find yourself, if you find yourself in trouble all the time, and you are a devotee of Hecate, as long as you are doing your part, meaning staying out of trouble, not getting in shit, basically. Yeah, Hecate will add her strength to your own to pull you out of the trouble that was clearly your own fault, because she loves you that much. That's why. when you work with Hecate, one way she gets your attention, another way she gets your attention is that everything you do with her, every piece of work you do with her, there is always a equal exchange. It is always a equal exchange. That means you ask Hecate for something, you have to give her something of equal value. Let's say Hecate wants, let's say you want money. Let's say you want $20. You have to give $40 to Hecate. How do you give $40 to Hecate? You take that money and you leave it at a crossroads. You bury it in the ground in the middle of that crossroads. You might be saying, yeah, $40 is a lot of money. Yeah, but Hecate will double it and give you 80. It has to be an equal exchange. And yes, which is, it has to be real money. Don't photocopy money. Don't use play money. Don't use Monopoly money. She's not stupid. She's going to know. And she will not work with you for a long, long time if you try to give her your fake money. If you want to have a new love interest in your life and you happen to be a woman, you may have to exchange your favorite bra and panty set. Yeah, can I say it like that? So you take your bra and panty set and you bury it at a crossroads in the very middle of that crossroads. So Hecate can send you a man or a woman who will love your body for your body. Not love your body after you have gotten surgery to make your booty bigger or to make your titties bigger. But love your body for your body so that when you do wear lingerie again and you two are about to have sex for the first time, that person appreciates your body. Yeah, it has to be an equal exchange. It has to be an equal exchange. It has to be of equal value. It has to be of equal value. It has to be of equal value. If you want something real, significant, and permanently changing, you have to give something of equal value. So these are some ways that Hecate is trying to get your attention if you are interested in being a devotee of hers. So thank you, witches, for taking time out of your day to join me for this broadcast. I am going to leave it up for the replay in case you came on late. Do share this broadcast on your stories, on your other social media platforms so that I can get on their explore page and they can check out all my videos on witches, witchcraft, and the queen of witches, Hecate. And with that being said, I release you into the rest of your evening. Bye, everyone.